I'm sorry." For a long moment, neither man spoke. The patient stared in stunned silence through the window behind the doctor, but seemed to be staring past the busy activities of the street outside, lost in a world of thought. "How long I got left, Doc?" Sighing heavily, the doctor gave the only answer he could offer. "No way to know for sure, but judging by what I saw in the examination and from what you told me, I'd say no more than 6 months, most likely less." Fear was the usual reaction to news that one was dying. In his years of practice, Dr. Robertson had seen it many times, but he could detect absolutely no emotion whatsoever in the eyes of this patient. "How bad'll it get before it happens, Doc?" "He'll likely continue to lose weight. Passing blood will increase as time gets closer and the pain will intensify," the doctor said as he pushed a bottle of golden liquid across the desk. "This will help some. It's called laudanum. It's an opiate sedative. Take a swallow when you need it. I wish there was something else I could do." T.J. Littlejohn pushed from the chair, scooped the bottle from the desk, and stuck out a work-hardened hand. The two old friends looked each other in the eyes for a long minute as they shook hands. "Thanks for telling me straight, Doc. There's some things I'll be needing to take care of. Guess I best get at it." Sheriff George Paxton was leaned back against the wall in a straight-back chair with his feet on the desk, snoring loudly. He awoke with a start as the door of his small office was pushed open, interrupting his usual afternoon nap. Keeping the peace in Lubbock County, Texas in 1873 was a boring job. "Afternoon, George," the tall intruder whispered hoarsely. "Afternoon, T.J. What brings you into town? Haven't seen you since last spring. You okay? You seem sort of off your feet." "Had some business. Can we sit a spell? Got some things on my mind." "Well, grab a chair. Want some coffee? Made it fresh a couple of days ago." T.J. Littlejohn declined the offer with a single shake of his head as he folded into a chair. He swept the office with a searching gaze. His eyes paused and fixed on the group of faded wanted posters tacked to the board wall behind the lawman's desk. Sheriff Paxton squinted critically as he stared at the wispy shadow of the man who had been his friend for more years than he cared to remember. He couldn't believe this was the same man that he had rode side by side with when they fought the Mexicans together back in '46. T.J. Littlejohn had been a captain in the Texas Volunteers. He was the chief scout and best tracker in the whole regiment. He'd served 4 years as a Texas Ranger and was maybe the toughest man George had ever known. After T.J. and Mary were married, they had fought the Apache and land grabbers in the drought to hold on to their little spread about 20 miles from town out on Yellow House Creek. Look at him now. Barely half the man he'd once known. "How old are you, T.J.? "I'll be 46 come spring." "What's wrong, T.J.? "Doc says I'm dying. Says there ain't nothing he can do. Says I got some kind of something eating my insides." Shock swept across the sheriff's leathered face. For long minutes neither said a word. Finally, George Paxton lifted his gaze and looked his friend in the eyes. "I'm sure sorry, T.J., George said, shaking his head sadly. "Reckon in a way I'm lucky. Death slips up on most folks. Catches 'em unexpected. They don't have time to do what needs to be done. That's what I want to talk to you about. I got a wife and 3 young'uns out there in a shotgun shack and nothing to leave 'em but a patch of Texas prairie and a handful of scrawny cows. I got to get my hands on some money.